Is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on primetime, this morning, Guam records its 38th COVID-related casualty, a 76-year-old female. Plus, the governor says the island will remain in PQAR1, although certain restrictions will be relaxed. And ongoing hearings for those challenging the 14-day mandatory quarantine.
Hafa and good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for streaming or watching us tonight. As Guam's 38th COVID-19 related fatality tops our newscast, it occurred at the Guam Memorial Hospital this morning just before 7 a.m. The patient was a 76-year-old female with underlying health conditions compounded by COVID-19. She was transferred to the Tumuning Medical Facility on September 18th after testing positive up in Dedido at Guam Regional Medical City. Guam Governor Lulian Guerrero said, quote, "To those she cherished, Jeff, her husband, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and I send our condolences, and our collective hearts are heavy with sympathy." The governor also said, "We all have a role in stopping this virus and preventing even more deaths. Our frontliners need our help. Wear your masks, social distance, and stay home. These simple actions," the governor writes, "can make a big difference." Well, out of 423 samples run, 45 returned positive for COVID-19. 12 such samples were identified through contact tracing, with Guam's total COVID case count now 2,235, with 38 deaths, 655 people actively fighting the virus, and more than 1,500 people having recovered. Now, according to last night's numbers, there were 32 hospitalizations at the Guam Memorial Hospital, with 13 COVID patients receiving ICU level of care. There was also one hospitalization up in Dedido at GRMC. Well, by way of a highly anticipated press conference earlier today, the governor announced an easing of some restrictions that will allow more island businesses to open. Yet Guam will remain in pandemic condition of readiness level 1, and a safer at home advisory is also in effect.
In explaining her decision, the governor noted that the case positivity rate is gradually on the decline, as is the COVID hospital census, which gave her comfort enough to announce the relaxation of some restrictions beginning Friday at high noon.
Retail stores and personal care, such as hair, nails, tattoo shops, and pet grooming, may operate at 25% capacity. In-restaurant dining is still prohibited, but outdoor dining will be allowed. Outdoor dining is restricted to those in the same household, only with a maximum of 6 people, and there must be a minimum of 6 feet distance between each table. Solitary and non-contact sports and sport facilities such as firing ranges, individual water sports and water sports services, scuba diving, golf, and tennis will be permitted.
The governor also said general office work and other services may resume, but face-to-face contact is by appointment only and no congregating allowed in waiting rooms. But that still leaves many other businesses closed, and they're voicing their dissatisfaction with protests in front of ADLUP and lawsuits in federal court claiming the shutdowns are unconstitutional.
I'm very sensitive to the health of our economy and to the health of our people, and the balance that has to come forward to protect both the health of our people and to start bringing back our economy, because of course our people's livelihood is just as important.
That's something she said before, though, and likely offers little comfort to protesters. But ADLUP is working on it, as the governor says the data is being reviewed constantly.
My recovery panel of advisors and the physician advisory group are currently working on a timeline for the phased-in reopening of Guam.
No specific time frame, though, of when that will be. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Nestor, thanks so much. Now, although the governor had announced the relaxing of some restrictions during the press conference, business owners that are part of the Action Pack organization spoke out this morning, frustrated and running out of options, and pleading with local leaders to allow them to reopen and work. Our Peter Santos has our next report.
Give me the opportunity to work and let me survive. I am the only breadwinner in my family. I have 2 kids on college and I need to pay books and tuition fee. Let me work.
More and more small business owners like Gina Campos and Albert Mansala are coming forward, sharing their struggles of keeping their businesses alive during the government-imposed lockdown.
There's just so much going on that there are too many challenges for us to try to make a living. What am I supposed to do? I mean, really, what am I supposed to do? I'm running out of options. So
Magician Hank Rice depends on the ability to perform in front of an audience. Due to COVID-19 restrictions on gatherings, he's come to the point where he feels that he has no choice but to make a career change, while others in the business community are getting by solely on the loyalty of their customers.
They were loyal enough to hold their money so they can stimulate our hobby shop, our economy. So I'm so grateful for them, man.
Mansala, a hobby shop owner, says that since businesses deemed non-essential have been closed, customers have had no option but to buy online. He's thankful for those who continue to support local businesses in whatever way they can. With many businesses closed for good and many at their tipping point, business owners like John Titano, owner of the recently closed Java Junction, are pleading with local leaders that they'll do all they can to keep everyone safe. They just want an opportunity to work.
We'll do our part, but allow us to open. Allow us to be a contributing factor to our economy.
Several of these small businesses have become partners with the Action PAC and encourage the community to register to vote. For the full interview, visit our KUAM YouTube page. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.
Now, during her press event, the governor also announced changes to quarantine effective at noon on Saturday. Now, get this. All incoming travelers will be quarantined in a government quarantine facility, and on day 6, they will be administered a test, and upon receiving a negative test result, they will be allowed to continue to quarantine at home. Well, more on the quarantine chronicles and confusion out of Superior Court as travelers continue to petition the court to set them free. Quote, "I'm sorry, but public health is not doing their job correctly and not informing people of their rights, so I am sending a legal advisor to inform these people." Those are the words of Judge Elise Ariarty after hearing testimony from both sides. Her Honor began today's hearing by calling in Public Defender Stephen Attore and ordering that he now be present during the processing of incoming passengers intended for the mandatory 14-day quarantine in a public sector facility. As we've now reported, several passengers have come forward filing petitions against the public health policy, alleging it violates their civil liberties. The governor reacted to the legal challenges as well as the orders from the court today at her press conference.
Since the first decision that was made, the judge did say that we needed to improve in making sure that the travelers and the people that are being quarantined need to know their due process and what other options and choices they have. And since then, I know that public health has been complying to the order of the judge, and that we are now giving them the necessary documents and the necessary instructions and the necessary information for them to decide and to make a better choice, or a choice of what they would like to do with those information. So we have been doing that since we have been ordered, and I think it's been a week. So we are complying to the orders of the judge.
Now, prior to issuing her opinion on the latest petitions, the judge heard arguments on what she calls a pervasive issue that's evident in each case, whether or not it's reasonably necessary to continue the mandatory GovGuam facility quarantine. The court stating, quote, "Procedures have not been adequate to understand if it was voluntary or involuntary without being given their rights." The government did bring forward Dr. Felix Cabrera of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group as an expert witness. The physician testified for nearly 5 hours today, explaining the reasons for implementing the passenger quarantine. The hearings continue tomorrow with the doctor's testimony. Now, just before news time, the court did rule on mixed martial arts fighter Trevin Jones' petition, granting his release to home quarantine. Judge Iriarty stating that the government did not procure his government quarantine and did not comply with the law to provide a directive prior to his quarantine. In other island news tonight, you'll have to say your goodbyes in the parking lot for now, because effective Monday, only passengers, employees on duty, and those with authorized business will be allowed entry into the airport terminal. Once again, here's Nestor Lecanto.
Airport Executive Manager John Kinata says all who enter will have their temperatures checked. Departing passengers who register above normal readings will be directed to a secondary inspection station where medical personnel will conduct a further assessment.
The airlines will be made aware that we have a passenger that is exceeding 100.4 on their temperature reading. Of course, the airline, if they get to that point, they're not going to allow that passenger to board their aircraft.
Likewise, any employee, vendor, or contract worker will also be denied entry to the terminal. Kinata says access will also be limited to just 2 entry points: the basement level entrance from the public parking lot and the ground level ticket lobby doors located on the west end as you first drive up.
Once the traffic starts picking up, we will adjust and we will have more entry control points at the departure areas and the arrivals area.
The new access control procedures will remain in place until there's a return to PCOR 3 or possibly PCOR 2. It also follows recent reported infections of local and federal government employees at the airport.
We have folks that, airport employees that have tested positive. We have Customs and Border Protection folks that have tested positive. We also have TSA agents that have tested positive. So definitely, this COVID is not discriminatory on where you work at.
Kinata says next week will be a soft rollout. He says strict enforcement will begin October 3rd. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And we'll be back with more Primetime when we return.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
We give most of our waking hours to preserve yours. When we're in it, nothing exists but you and the person that needs your help. It can be difficult at times. You can't help but take the weight of what you've seen home with you. There are days or nights that I need to leave it all behind, to let it go in the wind. But I'll always come back. I am a first responder, and I have given my life to this.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Friends, welcome back to Primetime. Community COVID testing has been rescheduled for UMatic for October 3rd. As you might recall, this past weekend's testing was canceled because of the rain. Testing is for the first 200 residents again who signed up with the UMatic Mayor's Office. The rescheduled testing event is Saturday, October 3rd from 9 a.m. until high noon. If you pre-registered for the previously scheduled testing through the UMatic Mayor's Office, you'll be able to keep your reserved spots. Additional registration for this event is now closed, and for the safety of the community and the nurses on staff, only 4 people per vehicle will be allowed to be tested. No symptoms are needed to qualify for the testing in the South. To the legislature, Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee has introduced a series of bills aimed at protecting Guam's primary drinking water source, the Northern Guam Lens Aquifer. One such proposed legislation decreases the amount of septic tanks allowed over the Northern Aquifer, and another establishes a task force to look into establishing groundwater conservation areas. A third bill requires utility companies to inform CLTC lessees if power and water is available to the land they intend to lease.
These bills recognize that water is life, and we need to protect our water source, protect this aquifer. And that's why we're taking this multi-pronged approach to attempt to do that.
The policymaker says illegal dumping is just one of the many threats to the aquifer, and her bill to authorize the CLTC to assess fees on lessees to cover biannual site inspections is intended to provide a deterrent.
Assess fees, but that they may. And if they do, it's not necessarily fees that are going to be assessed on residential or agricultural lessees, but it could also be borne by commercial lessees. And so we just want to make sure that we're kind of spreading the cost if that's the direction that the CLTC chooses to move forward with.
Land Trust Director Jack Hattig, who attended the news conference, said it would be up to the board to decide if fees would be assessed. He also said he'd have to research the issue before he could make a recommendation. In other news, outreach is underway by the Guam Department of Education social workers to update the list of student enrollment and identify households' internet access. GDOE has 8,000 laptops that they intend to distribute, with Superintendent John Fernandez emphasizing that in order to receive such a laptop, contact your schools directly. The application process, he tells KUAM News, is set to launch today.
It's not a first come, first serve. It really is based on need, ensuring that you have the appropriate internet access at this point. As we expand with the distribution of laptops, we think we can move a significant amount of students from that hard copy to the online version. And then hopefully for those who don't have internet access, within a month or two, be able to provide that solution as well.
As for additional internet support, Fernandez says Adaloop is awaiting the funding approval from USDOE, as he explains.
About $8.9 million of their funds is being dedicated to home internet access. And their intention is to subgrant that to to GDOE, and for us to procure internet access for the households. So, we've just started that process because it's not yet approved, but we intend to go through a procurement process to try to bridge the gap for those who need internet access in order for them to move online.
And you can stream our full-length interview with John Fernandez right now on youtube.com/KUAM News. Elsewhere in the government, the Department of Agriculture received the island's first Habitat Conservation Plan grant. The grant gives the agency a blanket habitat conservation plan for the entire island, which would allow them to identify spaces to relocate endangered species.
We have endangered and listed species all over the island, and people find them on their property anywhere from Tamuning to Jigo to Malesu. So when you find these on your property right now, as it stands, all your development has to stop. You have to work with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife to figure out if you can set either a buffer zone, or if not, then you have to apply for your own habitat conservation plan, which is time consuming and costs a lot.
Agriculture Director Chelsea Munya-Breck tells us that they received just $900 short of a cool $1 million for the grant, which makes the process of building homes and developments more efficient, streamlined, and cost-effective. The agency will contract out UOG for the proposal plan. Well, island leaders signed off Wednesday on the Guam Green Growth Action Framework, a decade-long strategy with which to address sustainability and promote a green economy for the Pacific region. Governor Lulian Guerrero, Hawaii Governor David Ige, and Republic of the Marshall Islands President David Kabua were among the dignitaries attending the virtual ceremony.
As we sign the G3 Action Framework, Guam is ready to take our place at the global forefront of island sustainability. This year marks the start of the Decade of Action, a critical 10-year window to act on the most significant global sustainability challenges before 2030. We are proud to be taking local action to achieve global impact.
This first-of-its-kind report can help raise the bar for local SDG leadership, and we are glad to join other cities and nations globally in taking this important step. Hawaii is committed to doing its part to achieve these global goals through consistent engagement with our local community and the international community.
Now, Guam's become a founding member of the UN's Local 2020 Islands Network and Alliance for a Sustainable Future. The 80-member Guam Green Growth Working Group represents government, academia, and the private sector. It's facilitated by UOG's Center for Island Sustainability. And a real quick reminder before we head into our next commercial break, the last day to complete the 2020 census will be on September 30th. The survey can be answered over the phone and takes just about a half an hour. You can do your part in helping the island get the resources we need by calling 645-2020. That's 645-2020 and completing your 2020 census before the end of the month, and we highly encourage you to do so. All right, coming up, we've got more primetime news when we return.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Our new McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are just the right amount of spicy. A small to medium Sprite kind of spicy. Let's get a McFlurry after this kind of spicy. But if you get the mighty hot sauce, it's a napkins up for foreheads now kind of spicy. This came from McDonald's kind of spicy. Because our Spicy Chicken McNuggets, breaded in tempura and made with cayenne, are just the right amount of spicy. Unless you remember what I said about the sauce. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's looking really good.
Our island is a gift that we have shared with the world. But in the stillness of today, our island is asking everyone to give us a moment. To be with our family, Ifamagonte, our children, our grandchildren, Itanota, our land, our thoughts, to be creative. Panhongi, to have faith. To be with the things we know and the things you've come to love. Give us a moment. And we will share one together soon.
During our Network of Nurses segment on The Link, GDOE's Julietta Kineni talked responsibilities for public school nurses.
When you go from the school nurse setting, which is a whole different ballgame, right? You know, checking for lice, the kid has a tummy ache, thrust into the front line of COVID-19. And I know that's why you guys train and that's why you're nurses, but what was one of the moments for you, maybe you could share with us, where you kind of took a look around and said, wow, I'm really in this fight against the coronavirus?
So again, as you just mentioned, all nurses receive the same basic education. If you do your BS and your Bachelor of Science of Nursing, right, whether you work hospital, public health, or in the school setting, we all complete that, right? Then you choose your specialization. You choose, would you like to work in the hospital? Would you like to work public health, prison, or whatever specialization? So it doesn't mean school nursing is less prepared to take care of other type of patient. It just means we all develop a different skill set because that is your love. That is what you choose to do, right? Definitely, specifically during March and May, we were asked as school nurses, let's go help set up. Remember, nothing was set up. COVID is new to everyone. We're going to go help at the airport. You help at the airport, nothing is set up. We kind of help develop the process, get that stabilized. Let's move on to the next area. The port, same thing, nothing is set up. What is the processes that we would like to have in place so that, you know, we keep safety of everyone involved there? And then the same go with when they start opening the quarantine and isolation sites. I was the first one to greet our first positive patient. Again, nothing was set up. We start developing whatever the process should be so that we could safely take care of those patients at that time. So we real fast. I mean, this happened March 16, 17, right? When the executive order came out and the governor asked our superintendent, can the school nurses help? Immediately we start preparing. Right. Immediately we did our fit testing, which is needed so we can wear the N95 mask. Immediately our nurses decided, hey, which areas, I gave them 3 choices. I said, which areas do you feel most comfortable that you could be helped and benefit our community as well? So those things immediately, right, start happening. And so when we came back to August, when it said, oh, guys, we need you to go and help again, it became almost a little easier because then the nurses knew what was expected. They knew what we did during the first wave, and this time it became a little easier. Also keep in mind, public health nurses, GMH nurses, they have their home base. We are not. We at DOE from the school setting. So we feel like visitors initially going to their home, learning their territory, but we embraced it because we knew this is our Guam, this is our community, and together we can do this.
Coming up, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shoutouts.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
Small businesses are an important foundation in our island's growing economy. They provide essential goods and services to our community while preserving local traditions and creating new job opportunities. Your responses to the 2020 Census of Guam will help small businesses receive the information they need to thrive for years to come. Respond today. Together, we can make a difference.
During this morning, during our Network of Nurses segment on The Link, GDOE's Julietta Kineni talked responsibilities for public school nurses.
When you go from the school nurse setting, which is a whole different ballgame, right? You know, checking for lice, a kid has a tummy ache, thrust into the front line of COVID-19. And I know that's why you guys train and that's why you're nurses, but what was one of the moments for you, maybe you could share with us, where you kind of took a look around and said, wow, I'm really in this fight against the coronavirus?
So again, as you just mentioned, all nurses receive the same basic education. If you do your BS and your Bachelor of Science of Nursing, right, whether you work hospital, public health, or in the school setting, we all complete that, right? Then you choose your specialization. You choose, would you like to work in the hospital? Would you like to work public health, prison, or whatever specialization? So it doesn't mean school nursing is less prepared to take care of other type of patient. It just means we all develop a different skill set because that is your love. That is what you choose to do, right? Definitely, specifically during March and May, we were asked as school nurses, let's go help set up. Remember, nothing was set up. COVID is new to everyone. We're going to go help at the airport. You help at the airport, nothing is set up. We kind of help develop the process. Get that stabilized. Let's move on to the next area. The port, same thing. Nothing is set up. What is the processes that we would like to have in place so that, you know, we keep safety of everyone involved there? And then the same go with when they start opening the quarantine and isolation sites. I was the first one to greet our first positive patient. Again, nothing was set up. We start developing whatever the process should be so that we could safely take care of those patients at that time. So we're real fast. I mean, this happened March 16, 17, right? When the executive order came out and the governor asked our superintendent, can the school nurses help? Immediately we start preparing. Right. Immediately we did our testing, which is needed so we can wear the N95 mask. Immediately our nurses decided, hey, which areas, I gave them 3 choices. I said, which areas do you feel most comfortable that you could be help and benefit our community as well? So those things immediately, right, start happening. And so when we came back to August, when it said, oh, guys, we need you to go and help again, it became almost a little easier because then the nurses knew what was expected. They knew what we did during the first wave, and this time it became a little easier. Also keep in mind, public health nurses, GMH nurses, they're at their home base. We are not. We at DOE from the school setting. So we feel like visitors initially going to their home, learning their territory, but we embraced it because we knew this is our Guam, this is our community, and together we can do this.
Coming up, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout-outs.
Uno Mixed is presented by Bantai Restaurant and Lounge.
Hafide, I'm Tyler Matsunani, and welcome to Uno Mix. Now, with Guam back in a state of P-Core 1, the island's been put on halt, but it doesn't exactly mean our island's talents have stopped working. In fact, our boy Peter Cruz, aka Hale, has been hard at work with the latest drop of his latest album, and I gotta catch up via Zoom to get the inside scoop. Check it out. Holly, thank you so much for joining me, and you are all the way out in the States. Out in California right now. Wow, what has been going on? You just had a birthday, so that was one thing that just happened, and you celebrated it with launching your new album.
Yeah, I just turned 30, so 30. Making my 30 trips around the sun, so it's been nice. It was very relaxing, but I think the best part about it was the album. So I'm really excited to have that released.
So I was actually very surprised, and obviously I didn't read too well into it because I knew you were counting down the days, but I thought it was the release of a new song. But no, you released a 5-track album. So how long did it take? How was your whole process?
Well, the 5 tracks, the first 2, Run Into Your Love and Fraud, I've been sitting on those tracks for almost 2 years now. But I was just waiting for the right moment. It felt more of like a few, those tracks were made to be on an album. So I decided to wait and sit on that. Good with Mellow was done earlier this year. Yeah, like early into quarantine. 2 Roots with Freddie from 4-Piece Band was probably, beginning of the year, and then Fade Away was around the same time. So it's been, for the first 2 tracks, sitting on for 2 years, and the rest were maybe the last 6 months to 8 months.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about one of those tracks that you mentioned that you were sitting on for 2 years, Fraud. You get a little, I don't know if you want to say political or something. Let's talk about a bit about that. What is that song about?
Man, the best way I can explain that song is if the shoe fits, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people can see, like everybody kind of has that two-faced experience in their life, right? And there's a line in there that says, wolf in sheep's clothing. So really that's all it is you can relate that to pretty much anything and anyone in your life. Is if somebody crosses you and you feel like maybe they're just putting on that fake front, like that's for you. Like when you get frustrated and somebody's like, acting cool, but really, behind the scenes are just kind of not really what they say they are, like that's what that song's about. So I've come across a lot of people in my life like that, and that was the best way I could describe how I was feeling through my music, because I'm not a confrontational person, you know what I mean? So I let the music speak in that sense.
I like that. Let's talk a little bit about your whole experience out there so far, because how long have you been out in Cali?
I just hit 10 years in June.
And I would imagine that you've worked with a lot of other artists out there, gotten some feedback.
Yeah. Well, the first song I did was with Jesse Barrera. He's a big time Warped Tour guitar player and producer. So he produces a lot of artists out here in the R&B, alternative R&B scene. But yeah, I've been, for the most part, other than, the first band I was with, Tribal Theory, I've worked with tons of other reggae artists through touring with that band. And now it's just kind of a big network of friends and family. Pana, production by Pana, prod by Pana up in Hawaii, does a lot of Liquid Jewelry and all these reggae artists in Hawaii. So yeah, there's a huge affiliation, especially out here in San Diego. It's a big reggae city.
How would you say moving from Guam and literally uprooting yourself to the States how has the music influence helped shape your sound?
I think I take a lot of the, I grew up with a lot of Chamorro music like Casey, JD Crutch, and all the greats. So I take a lot of that Micronesian sound that I want to, infuse with the reggae music that I've learned out here. I think a lot of people can say that sometimes they get that Cali vibe, the Cali reggae vibe in my stuff, but that's because I'm a big rock and roll type of dude too. I love rock. So a culmination of Guam, Chamorro music, Mariana's music, and the reggae that I learned out here, and growing up with all types of reggae music with my family. Like, it's just a mesh. That's what Holly is, just a mesh of different cultures in the reggae sound that I'm trying to create.
Would you say that you have a little bit of a signature in your music at all? I know you've been saying your own name in it too. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I like to coin Oceania reggae music because we take a lot from Hawaii, we take a lot from New Zealand, we take a lot from mainland reggae and West Coast reggae and Micronesian music, like a lot of Carolinian music and Chamorro music. So I think it's just when you put that all in a pot and you mix it up, to me, that's the sound that I'm trying to create is Oceania reggae music, but that's not limited to just Holly. I think anybody that feels they can fit in that subgenre, you're more than welcome. But that's kind of what I'm coining.
Now let's talk. Let's go back to the album. So what's further on the album? Can we expect any music videos?
So I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I wanted to be also mindful and safe during this crazy time, unprecedented time. I'm pretty much a one-man band, for lack of better words. So I do all my editing, I do all my videos, I do all my production, pictures, you name it. So with the music video, I kind of wanted to let the music just kind of speak for itself. Actually, what I'm working on is putting out more music shortly after this. So I didn't want to have like a long stint of, no releases. I kind of wanted to try something new, and I'm looking at doing maybe, every 1 or 2 months, maybe a new release. But when things get better, we're going to definitely have some videos and some other content for sure.
And I love it. 2020 may have slowed everything down, but obviously Holly's still not letting that affect you. You're still going stronger, and we can all wait to see what else is in store. I'm excited for that new music. But before we close out, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody that had a hand on the album, and then also everybody that continues to stream my music. I really can't do any of this without the people in Marianas, like, seriously. And I know it sounds cliche, like an island boy who's living in the mainland, but really, you guys are, you drive me. I can't do this without you. So thank you for always playing the music and all the support and all the good feedback that I get. Bad feedback too, constructive criticism is always great. But I just want to say thank you to everybody in Guam, in the Marianas, up in the CNMI, and all the Chamorros across the world for, for the amazing support that you guys have given me in the past couple years. So thank you. And then also you guys. I can't really do this without your support, because you guys put it up on the air and people are like, hey, I heard this. So I'm really appreciative of you guys over there and supporting Holly music. I really, really appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere, because at the end of the show, we'll be playing one of the songs off of Holly's new album for our Sunday vibes. And when we come back from the break, we'll be featuring a new local business that makes self-care a priority.
Uno Mixed is presented by Bantai Restaurant and Lounge.
Welcome back to Uno Mix. You may have heard of the local clothing brand Love Club. Well, their founders Zane and Dennis have branched off into their latest business adventure that focuses on self-love. It's self-care. Okay, half a day joining with me today. I have Zane and Dennis from selfcarebeauty.me. Okay, what is the name of the company? Is it Self-Care Beauty? Is it self-care?
It's self-care. Yeah.
Yes, it's just self-care, and we kind of just made it as broad as we can and as positive as we can, just to, you know, we wanted the brand to be a reminder to, you know, oneself to take care of yourself and look in and take care of you know, your wellness within before, you know, as the saying goes, take care of yourself first before you take care of other people, right? So it's important to get right with you first. So yeah, that's kind of the basis.
Self-care.
I like that. So what made you guys decide to start this brand up? Because you have another brand, you have Love Club, but this one is targeted more, like you said, for beauty, for, you know, the whole mental awareness thing has been something that a lot of people have been raising lately. So what made you dive into the beauty world in this sense?
Well, we've been really passionate about it. Like, I think since we were first dating or together, we've always like did skincare together. And it was actually very surprising to me, because when I first met him, I found out that he has like this whole routine for like, you know, most men that I know, like they just use a bar of soap for like everything, right? And then this guy had like a cleanser, a moisturizer, like all of that. And it was just like, you know, I was like, okay, so he finds skincare important as I do. Like, it's not a weird thing for me to do it. So we kind of wanted to be like unisex, you know, like guys, like doing your skincare doesn't mean you're so femme when you do it, right? It's about taking care of yourself. So it was kind of just like a passion between us, and it's been in the works. And then
Also, we wanted to do it like right now, just because the whole coronavirus thing. So we really want to push out products for people to purchase, and it like really helps them, like
just take care of themselves.
Yeah,
or, like,
basically, yeah.
You know, promote this overall wellness within you first. Yeah.
I love it. You guys are really on this whole, you know, normalize it, and especially with the whole skincare thing, it's not just a girl thing, you know, it's not just for women. It's important to take care of yourself regardless of, you know, your gender. So let's talk about what made you guys decide to start with the lip balms, because I have them both here and they arrived just like an hour, 2 hours before we started this. Don't look at me. Okay. So right when you open it, you get this one saying, "The best care is self-care. We hope you enjoy our citrus and pomegranate lip balms. Our lip balms are cruelty-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, and USA made." And there that is, the 2 lip balms. And I also got the mist sprayer. So I should actually take off my stuff on my lips right now. I have been hearing about these, and I love that they have SPF in them. Big skincare junkie, so that's really important to me. So we're gonna try this. Ooh, that smells nice. Oh, that's really nice. I love that. And now we have the pomegranate one. So I loved how the citrus smelled. I heard the pomegranate smells even better. I don't know, but I love pomegranate, so let's see how that is. Oh my god. Oh, for some reason, I don't know, the pomegranate just goes on smoother. Okay. So I ordered the 2 lip balms you guys launched, and I also got the mister. I love, love, love this, by the way. Let's talk about these. What made you start with lip balm? The ingredients, breakdown, how you guys started up with it.
So we chose lip balm because we both kind of use it, and even down to the packaging, we made sure we want to make it as minimal as possible that can be used again by anybody, right? So you can find it in a guy's pocket or like for a girl's purse, right? We really wanted to do that. And the two flavors, which is pomegranate, which is vegan, and then the SPF, which is citrus, is kind of both of what we wanted. For vegan, we wanted to make sure that it's cruelty free, and we just wanted to have that option because it feels really close to us. And then for SPF, because we are on an island, we do know that the SPF ingredient is not coral reef safe, but we plan to kind of create more products that it is so you can use it in the ocean. But we just figured right now a lip balm that's SPF that's, you know, will be good right now, right? Yeah. And I don't think anyone would put it on and then maybe go swim.
Go into the ocean.
So we just thought to kind of, we're still finalizing a more cleaner or healthier SPF formula, right? So, but we just wanted to release it just to provide an option to consumers.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to see what you guys got coming up. And, you know, just looking at your Instagram page, I mean, you guys just started up not too long ago, but you guys have a really nice aesthetic to it. And right when you go to your page, it's so calming. I love it. It's not too crazy. So I think people are definitely gonna be keeping an eye out to see what comes next for you. Thank you guys so much. And before we head out, are there any last words that you want to say? Where can people follow you to get all the latest notifications?
Yeah, you can just follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is selfcarebeauty.me, and also as well as our website is selfcarebeauty.me as well.
Don't go anywhere. More Uno Mixed when we return.
We didn't set out to make a hit. Baby's been good to me, baby's been good to me. So many let me on my feet, so pushing let me on my feet. We just sang our song. Cause my baby's got a lot. So let me testify. Real bourbon, no apologies. Wild turkey, it'll find you.
Uno Mixed is presented by Bantai Restaurant and Lounge.
Hafaday, I'm Tyler Matsunani, and welcome back to Uno Mix. Now with Guam and P-Core 1, it's kind of hard to go out and get your happy hour fix. So here's a little at the bar rewind for you 21 and older viewers. Hafaday everyone, I'm Tyler Matsunani, and today we are here with another At the Bar segment. We have Cece from IWS. So Cece, let us know what cocktails we will be making today.
Today we're gonna make a Jack Honey Lemonade. We're gonna make a Jack Fire Sangria. And with the original Jack Daniels, we're gonna make the Unrequited Love Punch.
Ooh, sounds refreshing. Let's get right to it.
First, we're gonna start with our Jack Daniels honey. We're gonna do 2 ounces of that. We're gonna go ahead and take some fresh lemons, squeeze a couple in there. I like to do 4. We're gonna go ahead and add our bar syrup. We're gonna do 1 ounce of our bar syrup. Add our water, just another ounce of water, just to help balance out that bar syrup. I'm just gonna fill it up.
All right, this looks so refreshing. I can't wait to try it. Smells amazing.
You're gonna see that the lemon and the honey just kind of balance each other out.
The honey is really good with the lemon.
Sneak attack, I tell
oh
you.
my gosh. right, Cece, I had no doubt that that first drink was going to be amazing, so I cannot wait to see what else we have.
All right, so our second drink is going to be made with the original Jack Daniels, and I'm going to make a drink called the Unrequited Love Punch. So most people think Jack is always a manlier kind of drink. It's whiskey. It's not for everybody, but I love Jack Daniels, and we're going to make it really, really girly.
All right, let's get to it.
We're going to start with the original Jack. We're going to do 2 ounces of this. Then we're going to do 2 ounces of our cranberry juice, 2 ounces of our orange juice, 2 ounces of our pineapple juice. Just going to top this off just a little bit with some ginger ale. Give it a little fizz. And we can just garnish this with a lemon wedge as well.
Okay, let's just try this.
It's that crushed ice.
It's actually really good. I have to say, I wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out because the original Jack is such a strong whiskey flavor, but paired with all the different fruity flavors, it works really well together. All right, it has been an amazing segment so far, and I cannot wait to see what our last one was. So we did one with Jack Honey, the original Jack, and now we are going to spice it up a bit with Jack Fire.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna make a sangria using Jack Daniel's Fire. We're gonna add some fresh fruits as well, so it's gonna be fruity, a little spicy, and I don't know about you, but when you add wine to any mix of alcohol, you get a different kind of buzz from that.
We definitely do.
All right, we're gonna start with our Jack Fire. We're gonna go ahead and do 1.5 ounces of that. I'm gonna add some fresh fruits. Just gonna put some apples and mangoes in here. We're gonna add our red wine.
Keeping it classy here.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna add 1 ounce of some juice. I'm gonna add some cranberry juice to this. Pineapple juice. Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze a lemon wedge in there. Stir this up a little bit, and I'm just gonna garnish it with an apple slice.
All right, I cannot wait to try this. I can smell the mixture of the cinnamon and lemon, and it smells amazing. So let's just dive right in.
How is it?
Ooh.
Do you taste the
I
Jack Fire?
taste that nice apple cinnamon with it too. It's really good. It's not too crazy, not too overpowering, really refreshing, especially for the summer on this beautiful day.
And I hope that the fruits help like make it a little bit sweet, because you know red wine is a little bit more dry.
It makes it a bit healthier too.
So we're on
your
a
fruits.
sangria diet.
Yeah.
Well, I hope these cocktails are all easy for you guys to make at home. You can find Jack available everywhere. Share it with your friends. Just in time for summer, and Mother's Day is around the corner.
Yes, great gift from Mom. All right, thank you so much, Cece, for joining us today. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure. It's been a while since I've been here, and it's always nice coming out here with you guys.
Well, we love having you. All right, guys, that's all we have for this segment of At the Bar. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
We'll be back after the break with more Uno Mixed.
We have the power to improve the schools our kids learn in, the roads we drive on, the healthcare we receive, and the opportunities for more jobs. By responding to the 2020 census of Guam, we can uplift future generations by providing them with the resources they need to grow as a community. Together, we can make a difference. Respond today.
Uno Mixed is presented by Bantai Restaurant and Lounge.
Thanks for sticking around. We hope you enjoyed the show. Now here is a compilation we put together of Sunday vibes off of our Instagram. Make sure to go and give us a follow at Uno Magazine Guam. Until next time, I'm Tyler Matsunani. Adios!
Thinking back, was it worth it all? The stress you carry on, you're back and hard and you're aching. But sometimes you need to let it go. Just chill and let it flow. It's not in your control. That's what they call the present, a gift from above. Be shared with yourself and all the ones you love. Be mindful of thoughts and your actions.